This year, when it comes to first-person shooters, it feels like Battlefield 1 and Infinite Warfare all over again, because we've got Black Ops 7, once again a futuristic Call of Duty, and Battlefield 6, once again a more grounded Battlefield game, in a more modern-ish sort of setting. It's a little bit funny to see a repeat of things happening again, but this year is also kind of interesting, because while Battlefield 2042 was very much a disappointment for a lot of Battlefield fans, Battlefield 6 so far feels like it's doing a really good job at bringing in a bunch of hype and making a lot of people really want to try it out. Now, do I think that Battlefield 6 might beat Call of Duty Black Ops 7 this year? Well, that's exactly what I want to talk about in this video, so let's just get right on into it. Now, from a personal standpoint, I've been a fan of both Call of Duty and Battlefield for a long time now, and each one I feel has its own sort of unique selling point. Call of Duty is one of the few first-person shooters that delivers this sort of arcade shooter-like experience. You've got your team deathmatch, domination, hardpoint, those sorts of game modes, all within sort of these condensed maps and condensed shooter experiences. And for a while, I feel like Call of Duty has always just kind of been the game that you just buy every year because it's Call of Duty. It's safe, it's sort of the same thing, you don't really have any surprises there, and Call of Duty tends to be, I would say, for me at least, the game that I just play every year, regardless of what other games there are, because it's pretty much the game I can expect to be a certain way. Now, of course, there have been many disappointments over the years that Call of Duty has been around, and it's a very long-standing franchise. A lot of people who played it when, we were younger, we're now much older today, and we've still been playing it the whole time. So obviously we've grown with Call of Duty, and Call of Duty has changed. Nothing is going to be the exact same forever. But the thing is, with Call of Duty, it's definitely had its ups and downs. Now, historically speaking, I've played more Call of Duty than I have played Battlefield, but that doesn't mean that I don't like Battlefield. It just happened to be that I played Call of Duty more. Over the past couple of years, the two franchises have definitely had their fair share of problems. After Modern Warfare 2019, Call of Duty's definitely had some pretty bad games. I mean, Modern Warfare 2, the rebooted version of course, was not my favorite in the slightest. Black Ops 6 has had definitely a lot of problems. It was great at first, but over time it just kind of got a little bit boring. Battlefield, for instance, 2042 was a complete disaster at launch. Now, I started playing it again not too long ago, and it's definitely better than what I remember it being when I tried it out. It's still not my favorite Battlefield game of all time. I still preferred Battlefield 4 way more over 2042, but now in 2025 we've got the anticipated release of two games, Black Ops 7 and Battlefield 6. Now, of course, Battlefield 6 has had a lot of hype surrounding it, and for good reason. It's promising a grounded, realistic, gritty war game, which is what everybody expects from Battlefield. It had great gameplay during the open beta. Everybody was really excited to try it out, and you can tell that the hype is really up there. Even checking out my comment sections, there's definitely a pretty big swing this year for Battlefield 6. Now, of course, I do recall the issues with Battlefield 2042 and the amount of hype that everybody had about Battlefield 2042 prior to its release. People at the time were saying it was going to stomp Call of Duty. Obviously, that didn't happen, but Battlefield 6 played better than 2042, and it is better than 2042, so it's encouraging for Battlefield 6. Now, when it comes to Black Ops 7, I've been seeing a couple of different reactions. On the one hand, there are people that are excited for it because it's a Call of Duty game and they're big Call of Duty fans. You've got a lot of Call of Duty Zombies fans that are anticipating Black Ops 7 Zombies. I'm one of them. You've got people that, at the end of the day, think the multiplayer looks pretty cool. Some people are encouraged by the fact that Activision does seem to be making some changes, like for instance, the cancellation of some of the more goofier skin collabs, not all of them, but some of them. For other people, they're not excited at all. For some people, skill-based matchmaking is still a problem that they don't want to have to deal with. For some, they're just bored of Call of Duty and they find it a little bit stale after so many years of the same thing. Others are a little bit fatigued by the fact that we're getting back-to-back Black Ops games. Some people are just, they don't care. They think it looks boring, unoriginal, uninspired, and then all the same, there are people who are indifferent. They're just gonna play it because it's Call of Duty, that sort of a thing. Now, from a personal standpoint, yeah, I'm more excited for Battlefield 6 than I am for Black Ops 7. I'm still still going to be playing both games and I'm still going to be talking about both games, but that doesn't mean that I'm not more or less excited for one or the other. For me, the reason why I'm excited for Battlefield 6 is because I do like Battlefield as a game. It's a little bit of a different pace from Call of Duty, it's got a different play style, but at the same time, the reason why I like Battlefield 6 is because I do think it is more of a grounded game, and that is something that I do like. One of the things that I was looking back at some footage I captured like years ago from Modern Warfare 2019, and I noticed that there was a difference. It felt different, right? The skins looked more grounded for the game. The game itself felt more like it had a style. Yes, we had a couple of collabs here and there with the more Halloween type stuff, but there wasn't really like a whole entire just constant stream of these types of skins like what we have in Black Ops 6 right now. Even Black Ops Cold War, with all the problems that it had at launch, it still had a relatively consistent vibe for the most part. But then we started getting things that just didn't make sense. Like, I mean, everybody can tell you the Nicki Minaj skin, that I still don't understand that one to this day. And with Black Ops 6, I mean, things just were like really wacky the whole time. It just had no consistent art style whatsoever. It was just constant stream after stream after stream of skins that didn't fit the whole game at all. Now, there were things that I did like about Black Ops 6, some of the more collaboration event game modes, those were fun, but for the most part, there just didn't feel like there was actually a consistent look for Call of Duty Black Ops 6 at all. Like, it's a game that takes place in the early 1990s. It's the Gulf War, so you'd expect things to look like that, but they didn't. And I think with Battlefield 6, at least for the launch, it looks like that's how they're gonna be for a couple of seasons. Now, Battlefield's developers didn't say that that means that there will never be any weirder looking skins. They kind of said for now when it comes to the earlier part of Battlefield 6, but Battlefield's a couple of years worth of game, you know what I mean? So, you know, every now and then it's okay, whatever, but like constantly, that's where the fatigue comes from, in my opinion, for the visual consistency with Call of Duty. Do I hope that Black Ops 7 plays like a great game this year? Of course I do, because I still will be playing it. I would like for it to be a good game, but I think Battlefield 6 is just more appealing because it has things that Call of Duty just hasn't had for a while. It's just appealing to that. I mean, even in the live action trailer that Battlefield 6 dropped today, you can see them kind of throwing some shade at Call of Duty. They showed the beginning with these celebrities, and then they sort of were like kind of making fun of how Call of Duty's been marketing its games lately, so you can see that there is a rivalry. I'm still gonna play both because I'm a fan of both franchises. I don't really think that I'm only gonna play one or the other, but I do think Battlefield 6 might be better than Call of Duty Black Ops 7 this year just because of these sorts of things. I still remember Battlefield 2042 and how everybody was saying, oh, this is gonna be so much better than Call of Duty, you know, it's gonna beat Call of Duty this year, and then it didn't because 2042 was a complete disaster at launch, but Battlefield 6 has played better than 2042 in the open beta, so that makes me hopeful that it's actually gonna deliver this year. But of course, we'll just have to see at launch for both games. Battlefield 6 does come out well before Black Ops 7, so definitely going to be talking about that game more, at least for the next while. But anyways, the open beta for Black Ops 7 does start soon, so I'll be trying to see what it's like to kind of gauge what I think of it. At the end of the day, I do think that both games have a chance this year. It's just more so because Call of Duty is Call of Duty, but if Battlefield delivers a better experience than Call of Duty, we might be seeing a repeat of the Battlefield 1 Infinite Warfare situation that happened a few years ago. We might not. We'll just have to wait and see. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Do you think Battlefield 6 is going to beat Call of Duty Black Ops 7 this year or not? What are you excited for in both games, or one or the other? Do talk about it in the comments. I'd like to hear you guys' thoughts. Like, share, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss out on another upload. And that's all for today, folks.